They told us Africa had no cities, no civilization, no architecture, no knowledge. They told us history began when ships arrived. But long before European flags touched African soil, Africa was already urban. Cities rose from stone, libraries filled with scholars, walls stretched for miles, markets connected continents. This is the story of the cities that existed before colonialism, the cities they hoped you would forget. For centuries, colonial narratives described Africa as dark, primitive, and empty. But archaeological evidence tells a different story. By the time Europe was emerging from the Middle Ages, Africa had thriving urban centers, advanced trade networks, complex governments, architectural mastery. This was not wilderness. This was civilization. In southern Africa, between the 11th and 15th centuries, stood Great Zimbabwe. Massive granite walls, built without mortar, some rising over 11 meters high. This was not a village. This was a royal city. At its height, Great Zimbabwe housed up to 20,000 people. It was the capital of a powerful trading empire, exporting gold and ivory across the Indian Ocean. Artifacts found here trace connections to Persia, China, and India. For years, colonial scholars refused to believe Africans built it. They claimed it must have been foreigners. But the stone speaks for itself. Great Zimbabwe was African. Designed, engineered, governed, African. In West Africa, along the Niger River, rose Timbuktu. Founded in the 12th century, it became one of the greatest centers of learning in the world. At its peak in the 15th and 16th centuries, Timbuktu had universities, libraries, and tens of thousands of manuscripts. Under the rule of Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire became one of the wealthiest empires in history. Timbuktu's scholars studied astronomy, mathematics, medicine, law. The Sankor Madrasa was not just a mosque, it was a university that attracted students from across Africa and beyond. While Europe struggled through plague and war, Timbuktu debated philosophy. This was a city of intellect, a city of ink and gold. In present-day Nigeria stood Benin City. By the 13th century, it had become the capital of the powerful kingdom of Benin. Its walls, known as the Benin earthworks, stretched over 16,000 kilometers in total network length. Some historians consider them one of the largest earthworks ever constructed before the mechanical era. The city was meticulously planned. Wide streets, royal courtyards, and its art. The famous Benin bronzes displayed technical mastery that stunned European visitors. In 1897, British forces invaded and looted thousands of these artworks. But Benin's greatness existed long before that violence. It was organized, urban, sophisticated. In North Africa, near modern-day Tunisia, stood Carthage. Founded in the 9th century BCE, Carthage became one of the most powerful cities in the ancient Mediterranean. Its navy dominated trade routes. Its engineers designed advanced harbors. Under leaders like Hannibal, Carthage nearly defeated the Roman Republic. This was African power on a global stage. In the Horn of Africa rose Aksum. Between the 1st and 7th century CE, the kingdom of Aksum controlled trade. It minted its own currency. It built monumental obelisks. Aksum was once listed among the 4 greatest powers of its time. On the East African coast stood Kilwa Kisawani. From the 9th to the 15th century, Kilwa became one of the richest port cities. Its merchants traded gold from southern Africa with Arabia, Persia, and China. Coral stone architecture lined the coastline. Africa was not cut off from the world. Africa was part of it. Across the continent, trade routes crossed the Sahara. Road systems linked kingdoms. Urban life existed in market squares, royal courts, and scholarly institutions. Africa had cities, not because of colonization, but long before it. When colonial powers arrived, many of these cities were weakened by internal shifts or external pressures. But they were never empty. They were never primitive. The myth of a cityless Africa was convenient, because if Africa had cities, then Africa had power. The stones remain. The manuscripts survive. The cities existed. They still speak. Are we finally ready to listen?